Before the first whisper of recorded history, before the very concept of time was etched into human consciousness, two distinct echoes of humanity walked the earth. One, a titan forged in ice and stone; the other, a restless spirit carrying the spark of an unwritten future. This is not merely a tale of survival, but a profound reflection on what it means to be human, and the enduring legacy of a world that once held two suns. Before memory had a name, the earth was a whispering storm of dust, fire, and breath. It was a crucible of raw elements, where mountains rose and fell like transient dreams, and oceans carved their timeless paths. 4 million years before the first story was ever written, before the first symbol was etched into cave walls, giants and hunters walked beneath a cold, indifferent sun. This was a world devoid of kingdoms, of written language, of the complex societal structures we now take for granted. There was only the stark, unyielding imperative of survival, enveloped by an immense, profound silence. And yet within that silence, within the very heart of that ancient, untamed wilderness, something extraordinary began to awaken. A consciousness, a spark, a nascent understanding of existence itself. The land itself was a testament to relentless forces, carved by the ceaseless breath of storms and the grinding march of glaciers. Rivers, like veins of ancient blood, bled their way through solid stone, shaping canyons and valleys over millennia. Forests, vast and primeval, whispered secrets of beasts that had ruled unchallenged long before the advent of humankind. And there, hidden within the deep shadows of these primeval woods, across windswept plains, and within the shelter of ancient caves, two distinct kinds of humans walked the same earth. They shared the same sky, breathed the same air, and faced the same elemental challenges. Yet they were profoundly unaware that their shared journey was destined for a singular, heartbreaking conclusion. Only one lineage would ultimately remain to inherit the dawn. The first were the Neanderthals, the Stone Kings, as we might call them. They were broad, powerful beings, their very forms carved from the enduring essence of the land itself, embodying a profound resilience. Their existence was a testament to living with the earth, not against its formidable power, but in harmonious, albeit challenging, synchronicity. Their fires were few, precious beacons against the encroaching cold, yet their hearts burned with a steady, unwavering flame. Each hunt was more than a quest for sustenance. It was a ritual, a sacred dance between predator and prey, imbued with respect and ancient understanding. Each death, whether of man or beast, was not merely an end, but a prayer, a solemn acknowledgement of life's fleeting beauty and its inevitable return to the earth. At dawn, their breath rose into the crisp, cold mist like smoke from forgotten altars, a visible manifestation of their quiet, enduring presence. They were masters of their domain, hunting the colossal mammoth, the thundering bison, and the formidable cave bear with a courage born of necessity and skill. Their communication transcended mere words. They spoke with the profound depth of their eyes, with the nuanced gestures of their hands, a language woven from shared experience and instinct. Their world, though geographically constrained by the rhythms of migration and the demands of survival, was nonetheless sacred. It was a tapestry woven with the threads of family, community, and an intimate understanding of the natural world. Every rock, every tree, every animal held meaning, contributing to a cosmology that was deeply rooted in their immediate, tangible reality. Across the valley, beyond the familiar horizons of the Neanderthal world, came the others, Homo sapiens. They were thinner, more agile, their forms seemingly less robust, yet they carried a different kind of strength. They bore fire not merely as a tool for warmth or cooking, but as if it were a prophecy, a symbol of their boundless potential and their innate drive to transform the world around them. They moved not with the ancient ingrained rhythm of the earth, but with a restless hunger, an insatiable curiosity that propelled them ever forward. They carved bone into blades of unprecedented sharpness, transforming raw materials into instruments of innovation. And perhaps most profoundly, they carved light into language, giving voice to abstract thought, to complex narratives, and to the very essence of their burgeoning self-awareness. These newcomers gazed at the vast, star-strewn canvas of the night sky and saw not just distant points of light, but intricate stories, constellations that spoke of gods, heroes, and the very fabric of their emerging myths. They hunted not solely for the immediate necessity of meat, but for a deeper, more elusive meaning, seeking to understand their place within the grand cosmic design. Their minds were alight with questions, with the urge to interpret, to create, to transcend. And where the Neanderthal, rooted in tradition and the wisdom of generations, stood still, Homo sapiens wandered. Their feet, driven by an unquenchable thirst for discovery, traced new maps upon the world, pushing boundaries, exploring unknown territories. They were the pioneers, the restless spirits, forever seeking the next horizon, the next challenge, the next revelation. One morning, suspended precariously between the lingering frost of night and the first tentative rays of sunrise, the two tribes met. The same ancient earth lay beneath their feet, a silent witness to this momentous convergence. The same primal hunger for survival, for warmth, for sustenance, stirred within their hearts. It was a meeting of two kinds of flame, one ancient, deeply rooted, burning with the steady glow of tradition, the other restless, flickering with the promise of innovation and change. They faced each other for the very first time, two distinct branches of the human family tree, separated by millennia of divergent evolution, yet bound by the shared ancestry of their species. The air crackled with an unspoken tension, a profound moment of recognition and apprehension. The future of humanity, though unknown to them, hung in the balance of that silent, charged encounter. The Neanderthal leader, a figure of quiet strength and weathered wisdom, stepped forward. His eyes, deep and ancient, held a calm, assessing gaze, and his hands, broad and capable, were open in a gesture that could be interpreted as either peace or challenge. Across from him stood a woman of fire, a Homo sapiens, her posture alert, her spirit vibrant. She held a torch, its flame trembling slightly in the nascent morning wind, a beacon of her people's ingenuity and their mastery over the elements. Between them, the single flame of the torch flickered, casting its ephemeral light. It illuminated one face with a stark, revealing glow, while leaving the other shrouded in the deep, enigmatic shadows of the dawn. For that brief, suspended moment, the entire world seemed to hold its breath, a silent observer to a pivotal chapter in the unfolding drama of life. The potential for connection, for understanding, for a shared future, hung delicately in the balance. But peace, especially in a world governed by instinct and the harsh realities of survival, is a fragile thing where fear is strong. A sudden sound in the ancient forest, perhaps a single brittle branch snapping under an unseen weight, shattered the delicate equilibrium of the moment. The sudden noise, amplified by apprehension, was enough to break the spell, to ignite the primal fear of the unknown. They retreated, each group melting back into the swirling mist from which they had emerged, like phantoms dissolving into the dawn. Each believed the other to be a ghost, an apparition from a different realm, a fleeting threat that would surely vanish. Each, in their own way, believed the other would not last, that their own path was the destined one, the only one that could endure the relentless march of time. Seasons turned, each cycle bringing subtle yet profound changes to the ancient landscape. The fires of the Neanderthal, once steady and strong, began to grow small, their warmth diminishing with each passing generation. Their children became fewer, their numbers dwindling, a silent testament to a changing world they could no longer fully adapt to. Their stories, once long and rich with the wisdom of ages, grew shorter, their narratives losing their resonance in the face of new challenges. The world itself changed faster than their hearts, attuned to the slow, deliberate rhythms of deep time, could follow. The climate shifted, prey animals migrated, and the familiar patterns of their existence were disrupted. And when the last of their kind, perhaps a lone elder or a final resilient family, walked into the encroaching cold, into the vast, indifferent silence of extinction, the earth, in its immense, timeless wisdom, did not seem to notice. Their passing was a whisper in the wind, a fading echo in the grand symphony of life. But the world, in its own profound and subtle way, remembers. It remembers not with conscious thought, but through the indelible marks left upon its ancient skin. In the deep, echoing chambers of caves, within the very fabric of stone, and preserved in the silent dust of millennia, their handprints remain beside ours. These are not just archaeological artifacts. They are poignant testaments to a shared past, a silent dialogue across the chasm of time. One handprint, broad and powerful, speaks of the Neanderthals' enduring strength, their deep connection to the earth. The other, smaller and more delicate, hints at the Homo sapiens' agility, their capacity for intricate creation. Both are undeniably human. Both are eternal, etched into the very bedrock of our collective history, reminding us of the diverse forms humanity once took, and the profound journey that led to our singular presence today. Fire flickers again, a timeless symbol of human ingenuity and survival. A spark leaps into the darkness, illuminating the path forward, just as it did for our ancestors. The voice of the earth returns, a low and endless hum, carrying the echoes of all who have ever walked upon its surface. Only one lineage survived the great crucible of prehistory. Only one branch of the human family tree continued to flourish. Yet, in a profound and undeniable sense, both became human. The Neanderthals, through their resilience, their adaptation, their unique way of being, defined a crucial aspect of what it meant to exist as a conscious being in a harsh world. And Homo sapiens, through their encounter, their eventual dominance, and perhaps even through the subtle genetic legacy they carry from their ancient cousins, were shaped by the presence and eventual absence of the Neanderthals. Their story is woven into the very fabric of our own. Their story ends where ours truly begins. We are not merely the inheritors of their world, but the living embodiment of their journey, the culmination of countless generations of struggle, adaptation, and evolution. We are the echo of their breath, the living memory of that forgotten flame, that distinct spark of humanity that once burned so brightly alongside our own. To understand them is to understand a part of ourselves, to acknowledge the vast, complex tapestry of human existence. Their legacy is not one of failure, but of a different kind of success, a testament to a way of life that endured for hundreds of thousands of years. We carry their ghost, their wisdom, and their silent warning within our very DNA, a constant reminder of the fragility and resilience of life. This journey into the deep past is more than a historical account. It is an invitation to reflect on our own place in the grand narrative of life. We urge you, students of history, curious minds, and fellow inhabitants of this planet, to delve deeper into the mysteries of our origins, explore the archaeological sites, read the scientific discoveries, and ponder the profound questions these ancient lives pose to our modern existence. Visit museums, engage with anthropologists, and let the echoes of the past resonate within you. For in understanding the last flame of two worlds, we gain a clearer perspective on the singular, precious flame that burns within each of us today. Let their story inspire us to cherish our shared humanity, to respect the diversity of life, and to safeguard the future of our own unique journey on this ancient, enduring earth.